relationship with power, we take the next step in rising by how we express our personal power. This step asks us to release our hidden agendas. We begin to express our power with integrity and authenticity. Power expressed in this manner supports and draws those around together in support of shared causes and ideas. Coming together in our authentic power multiplies what we can do. The difference for good we can make as a group, community, and more is expanded to express our power. Today's inspiration is provided by Elizabeth Chomik, with her talk, Power Begins Within.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. You know that you are in the right place at the right time. Good morning, everyone on Zoom. I'm so grateful that you're here today. I forgot my red cape up there. I need that red cape, superpower, just to get me going. So the power begins within. We all know that there's one consciousness, one joy, one love that resides within each and every one of us. But the question is, why aren't we all getting the life that we want right now? Is everyone got the life that they want right now? Do you all have it? You know, are there triggers? Are there things that happen that knock you off? Say if you're like having the best day of your life and then you go in your car and then someone cuts you off and you're like, it just bumps you off, right? You got a little bit of rage there. Well, there are many ways to view the power that you have. How to view power in your life. We have a power within us and we can use it. Let me just grab this. I feel like I'm really far away from the mic. Power is, as Ernest Holmes says, the energy to which everything lives. There is a limitless power at man's disposal. This is because he is one with the whole, all in the subjective side of life. Man's thought falling into his subjective mind merges with the universal subjective mind and becomes the law of his life. Connect with this source so you can use the creative force in your outside world. So you connect with this force and then you manifest in the objective world. There's an affirmation that I want to do. I go within to connect with my source of power. I mean, we could say this all together if you like. I go within to connect with my source of power. So we have a power within us and we can use it. Let us look at this more. If we look within, I talk really fast, sorry. I'm going to try to slow myself down a little bit. We have a power within us and we can use it. Let's look at this more. If we look within, really look within our mind, we will find a subjective witness of all through. So one of the things that I do is I do it through inquiry. Who am I? I am not this, I am not that, I'm not the ego, not desire, not any of the objects outside of myself. I am that who is watching. The higher power, the all-knowing, all-seeing energy within me. When I connect with this power and know the very highest and best for myself, I can know this for you, I can know this for the community, I can know this for the world. Right? We got this. I always look. Our outside is real. Our inside is real, our outside is the magic. And so we can have a tendency to overthink things. We have a tendency to stay in the mind. But we must surrender to the higher power. This is where we connect to our intuition and surrender. Our mind is pushing us outside of ourselves, but our heart, what Steph even brought up in meditation and everything, our heart is inside of us. Our heart brings us inside. God is one, so we are all one, God is one, but we come in many bodies. We are all individualized expressions of the one. And so the people who know, who are like enlightened, like the Buddha and Jesus, they all knew this and they all just tried it. And so we can all know this as well. Power can be influenced by what you believe, your perceptions, what you learned in your homeschools, work, and lives. Sometimes we need to forget some of the things that we've learned through these avenues. Summary of today's topic: power can be a triggering word. And why is that? A triggering word because each of us has differing experiences with power. We can reduce the triggers by doing our inner work to create a clean relationship with our personal power. We begin by going within to discover our beliefs around power. Acknowledgement, forgiveness, compassion for ourselves and others, and our spiritual practices are the tools we'll use to begin healing our relationship with power. So I'm going to go into the truth, into forgiveness, and into a clean way of power. But I'm also going to do sorry about that, I always do that. An Ernest Holmes, How to Use Your Secret Power. I listened to a talk of his and I just wanted to share some of that with you as well. So healing our relationships with power creates a foundation for us to use in expressing our power. The safer we are with ourselves and power, the safer we are with others. The Science of Mind perspective invites us to begin by going within. We believe that it is not what you pray to, but where you pray from that matters. Going within allows us to do our inner work in preparation for outer expression. Engaging in a process of self-awareness and self-discovery. What are your blocks in thinking that you do not allow you what you want in your life? I've asked you this before, but I'm asking again. What are your blocks in thinking that you do not allow you to what you have in your life? Spiritual practices serve as valuable tools to support this inner work, providing a means to connect with our deeper selves and access higher wisdom. Additionally, seeking guidance from a practitioner offers intentional inner exploration and healing. We have Audrey, we have Steph as practitioners. I'm an intern practitioner. Wes is an intern practitioner. Come to any of us if you have any doubts in your mind and you want to be released from these doubts. Through intentional inner exploration and healing, we lay a solid foundation for expressing power in a clean, authentic, and compassionate manner in our external interactions and engagements in the world. There's a quote I want to share from Martha Beck, The Way of Integrity. As you find your truth, and you go backward, and you go back inward, and you cleanse out everything that is conflicted in your life, and you begin to always live in harmony with yourself, you find the peace that has always been your home address. I know, and when I was young, I used to sit in my room and cry and was like, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. Never realizing that home was right here. Like, this is my home address. Also, I wanted to share, like, October 20th, I organized a sweat. One of my spiritual practices is an Indigenous. Right? I organize a sweat, and so when you ask for healing, you put down your tobacco and you ask for healing, then healing happens. So all of this stuff that needed healing just came up, and I needed to look at things, right? So you can do any of your spiritual practices, but this is the one that I did. And working with my elder, I collected the rocks, I collected the wood, and through all this work, I just went through every emotion, all the rage, all the everything, and then we got to the core issue. He just asked me, he said, so what is it why aren't you happy in your life? What is causing this unhappiness? And then, it wasn't easy, let me tell you, because it was a long road. Like, I've been doing this road for 20 years, right? But, let me see if I won't cry, because it's huge. It's a huge core issue. Okay. And it was because I didn't receive what I needed in my life, because I was, like, neglected as a child, right? And so That was the court issue. And so we worked all this out before the sweat, and so I invited my family, who's never been to this in their lives, and so they came. And then I could, because I got through this court issue and released everything, I could receive their love, right? And it was wonderful. And so this is just one example of healing, looking inside and healing yourself. Well, and then this is the other example I wanted to share. Like last month in the lab lounge, Steph had asked me if I wanted to be the president of the board, and I said, no way, I don't think I can do that. And then after doing this sweat, we had a board meeting, and she's like, Elizabeth, can you lead the board meeting this? And then I was like, sure. And then so, yeah, this is just an example, like, yes. And I led it, and I did a wicked job. I knew that I could do it. So we're going to go to the truth. As Emma Curtis Hopkins stated, truth heals. Acknowledging is the first courageous and transformative step towards healing our relationship with power. To embark on this journey, we must bravely confront our current beliefs and experiences with power. It can be an uncomfortable process, as power can be a triggering word for many of us. Through our perceptions and projections, all we have lived and learned in our life. I have had to let go and surrender a lot of what I learned in life in order to see what actually is, what's actually before us now. By shedding light on our triggers and acknowledging how power has affected us, we gain profound insights into our inner workings. This self-awareness paves the way for transformation and liberation. We free ourselves from past conditioning and create a new, empowering relationships with power. Through acknowledgement, we begin to recognize where our fears, insecurities, and traumas might have distorted our perception of power. We also take responsibility for any ways in which we may have misused or denied our own power. By facing these truths, we initiate a power healing process that allows us to reclaim our authentic power with no other influences from the past. It is essential to recognize that power itself is neutral. The power itself is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It is neutral. It is our beliefs and experience that color our understanding of it. Through acknowledgement, we release any limiting beliefs or negative associations we might have formed around power, and we open ourselves up to embracing power as a force for good in our lives. So now we're into forgiveness. Mahatma Gandhi said, forgiveness is an antidote of the strong. Next, we turn to forgiveness after revealing the truth. Forgiveness, a potent catalyst for healing, plays an indispensable role in our journey of transforming our relationship with power. As we delve into our inner work, we encounter past experiences that have left deep imprints on our psyche. These experiences may include times when power was misused or when we felt disempowered. Carrying the burden of these memories can hinder our growth and hinder our ability to express personal power authentically. Through forgiveness, we release the grip of these painful memories and liberate ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger. By forgiving ourselves, we acknowledge we are human and we have made mistakes in how we've handled power. We extend compassion to ourselves, allowing room for growth and self-evolution. As we lessen the charge of the past, we free up emotional energy that can be channeled into positive expressions of personal power. I am the power of the presence. I connect with Source. Forgiveness serves as a powerful bridge between our past and present, guiding us to respond to current circumstances with our higher selves. And now I can just forgive my parents and that little girl, because I know the truth now. I know that they wanted me to have to be the best me that I wanted. Like, I know they wanted the best for me. They just didn't know how to give it to me. And now Source can give it to me, I can give it to me, self-love. And as a leader of this community, I can lead through love now, because I've done the inner work. So now clean power. The more we delve into our relationship with power and forgiveness, the more we are called to explore new thought and ideas that can redefine our understanding of power. This shift in perspective opens the door to the concept of clean power, an empowering and transformative force. What is the new thought or new idea we want to have with power? What would clean power feel like? How would you express it? Through introspection, we pave the way for a healing journey that liberates us from the burdens of the past and enables us to respond to life's challenges with our higher selves. There's a quote from Ernest Holmes: "There must be a recognition that the power of the work, operating as the truth and reality of being, can do all things." Science Mind, page 170. I had to listen to, I listened to Thin Nat Hat, The Art of Power, because they said that most of this is coming from there, and so it was such a great listen, and I'm so grateful I did that. I got a little bit of blurb from it. The energy of mindfulness is powerful. Helping you be fully alive, healing happens quickly. Loved ones, be mindful. Collective energy, community, allow yourself to be embraced by the collective energy. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. It's been an off and on again thing. I haven't been here for the full 20 years, but I've been here off and on, and I always come back. Ernest Holmes, How to Use Your Secret Power. I'm just going to read a little bit from there. So these are not my words, these are his. The power to overcome all your problems and difficulties. Did you ever say to yourself, I wish I would not be afraid of anything. I wish for peace and calm. We are all humans and have human thoughts and emotions. There is something you can tune into, something at the center of your whole being which could make everything right, not just for yourself, but for the whole world. How did Jesus acquire his unending faith, you say? How did he? He had doubt and uncertainties as much as we did. He was human. He triumphed. He walked over the water of doubt, the waves of confusion. If you wish to do as I do, he said, follow the few simple truths I have given you. I have told you the kingdom of God is at hand, but you do not see it because your eyes are filled with tears. You cannot hear, your ears are so dulled with confusion. Your mind is weighted down with doubts. You cannot understand. Open your spiritual eyes. Listen with the inner ear. Open your minds and just what is it? What is it? We must see and hear and understand. It is this thing called life. It flows into everything and through everything. It passes into every event and translates itself into every human act. If you think of this life flowing through your every act, it flows with new energy. You know you can think yourself into being angry and depressed. You know you can think yourself into being well and prosperous. Then you can think yourself into success. Well, you can if you believe in the law of life and use it rightly, but you must use it affirmatively. You must learn to identify yourself with your desires. You must become the master of your own thinking. This is the only way you can realize freedom and joy. Therefore, you will have to turn your thoughts away from lack and want and limitations and let them dwell on the good. Make yourself do this. Learn to think about what you wish to become, you see. You are a thinking center in life, and the chief characteristics of the law of this life is that it responds to your thought. Your slightest thought sets up a vibration in it, sets its creative intelligence in motion, and causes it to create circumstances for you, which corresponds to your thought. If you think life is always bringing you everything you need, you have formed a partnership with the invisible, which will prosper you, and I'm going to get the page here, in everything you do. If you think of the organs and functions of your body as activities of life, then automatically you will be benefited physically. The spiritual gifts which people have so earnestly sought after are not something God has withheld from man. Quite the reverse. They are something which man, in his ignorance, has withheld from himself. Life is never vindictive. It is not withholding anything from you. It is not even waiting until you are good enough to receive. Life is love. Life is beauty and wisdom, as well as energy and imagination. You will be able to use its powers in exact proportion as you embody its essence. If our acts spring from our inward thought, then it follows that when we change our inward thoughts, we shall at the same time change what they do. That is, we shall be introducing a new law of cause and effect into our lives, and the effect of precious mistakes will disappear. Doesn't that seem wonderful? Then the one who would heal hate must first learn to love, embody love. The one who would live a beautiful life must commune with beauty. He must feel beauty. The one who would feel happiness must first become happy. The one who would heal the sense of loss must first have arrived at an inner realization of wholeness. Miracles are natural. Every manifestation of faith through prayer, every wonder and sign which has followed the life of prayer has been an inevitable result of some cause set in motion in the life principle. Every longing and yearning you have ever had, every secret desire of your soul, every constructive ambition you have had is a whispering of this thing called life, assuring you that you are one with it. You are a manifestation, a personification of it. You are a center where life passing through you becomes a definite, a distinct, and a unique individual. There is no one else like you in all the universe, and there never will be. You will take time daily to sense the presence of life within you, to believe in it, to accept it. It will not be long before the life which you have known will gradually disappear and something new will be born, a bigger, better, and more perfect you. You will pass from death to life, from lack to want, into greater freedom. Freedom from fear to faith, from a sense of believing you are alone to becoming one with everything. You will rejoice in the oneness. What the wisest have known, they cannot answer your questions for you will have to answer things for yourself. You have to live for yourself. You don't have to borrow power from anyone. You are using the law of life every time you think. And no matter how long you have been using it wrongly and ignorant, the very day that are yes, the very moment you begin to use this power rightly, the effects of having used it wrongly will pass from your experience. Does it make any difference how long a room has been dark? Does it make any difference when you introduce a light? Does it make any difference how long the earth has been parched when refreshing rains come in to bring a new life? You have to use this power effectively, rightly. It will change your life. This is where faith plays its great role. Faith in the great ocean of love. Be in constant communion with the invisible. Every man is part of God. There is a divine mechanic at the center of our being who knows how to repair it. Having thoroughly cleansed our mental house, we must now get a new tenant, one who knows how to live in it, one who knows he is living in the house of God. He is in heaven now. He is the guest of the infinite today. And that's the conclusion of the Ernest Holmes. I just we've come a little bit a ways from that, from the science, I don't know, but I love bringing him here. Because it's almost 100 years, isn't it, since he's wrote The Science of Mind? I don't know. So conclusion and call to action. As we do our inner work to heal our relationship with power, we open ourselves to a new relationship with power and unlock the potential for a profound shift, free of past beliefs. We empower ourselves to reclaim a new, clean relationship with power, one that empowers and supports us. As we shed the layers of past conditioning, we regain the power to choose consciously how and where we express our authentic power. This week, let us embrace this new relationship with power through heightened awareness. Let us observe our thoughts, feelings, and actions as they relate to power. Notice any triggers or limitations that arise as we become more mindful of our responses to power dynamics. We can consciously redirect them towards a space of safety, compassion, and authenticity. Through this practice, we nurture the growth of clean power within ourselves and in turn inspire others to do the same. Create a ripple effect of empowerment and positive transformation. And so it is. Namaste.